is the love of nation a useful or a powerful moral, sort of from a moral philosophy perspective, a good thing?
I think it is a good thing, but before we ask whether it's a good thing, I think it's worth asking whether there's any way to live without it. The idea of national independence, of a world or a continent which politically is governed by multiple independent national states, that is a political theory. Somebody came up with that. You know, in the Bible or elsewhere, someone came up with this idea and sold it, and a lot of people like it. But the nation is not an invention. Every place in human history that we have any record of, there are nations, and so the fact of people creating families creating an alliance of clans creating alliances of tribes creating alliances of an alliance that becomes the nation. We see that everywhere in human history, everywhere we look. And the love of a group of tribes that have come together in order to fight opponents that are trying to destroy your way of life and, you know, and steal your land and harm your women and children. The love of the leadership that brings it together. Here, this is, you know, a George Washington type figure, or an Alfred the Great type figure, or Saul, the biblical Saul, somebody who has the wisdom, the daring to unite the tribes, overcome their internal mutual hatreds and grievances, and rally them around a set of ideas, a language, a tradition, an identity, as people say today. That love is eradicable from human beings. Maybe we'll have Brave New World people will take drugs in order to get rid of it.
The problem is that could be leveraged by authoritarian regimes.
Yes, but
right?
That's true of everything. It's like saying, you know, you can have children and you can teach them to be evil. You can make a lot of money and can use it for evil. You can have a gun for self-defense, but you can use it for evil. Come on, that's human. That's being human.
But you guys are making love this primary, which I don't think it is. There are lots of people.
How dare you, Yaron Brook?
I know. There are lots of people in the world out there who don't love their nation because the nation is not worth loving. That is, love is conditional. It's not unconditional. Love is conditioned on the value that's presented to you. So I lived through this experience in my own life. Right, I grew up in Israel at a time of everything was geared towards patriotism and the state. I would say I was trained to when I saw a grenade to jump on it, because that was, you know, every song and every story and everything was about the state is everything and you should sacrifice. And, you know, when the flag went up, I got teary-eyed. I mean, I bought into it completely. And at some point I rejected that. And I changed, and I changed my alliance, and I rejected my love of Israel. It's not that I don't love it anymore, but it's certainly not my top love, and I'm certainly not looking for the grenade to jump on, and I'm not volunteering to go fight the war there. And I fell in love from a distance with the idea of America. I love the idea of America more than I love America, right? And I could see myself falling in love, out of love with America, given where it's heading, right? It's not automatic. It's conditioned on what it is that it represents and what value it represents for me.